This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by SACL, CAI, the company that collects with respect. They call it grunt work. These activists from nhcommonsense.org, they're doing at home the type of work that fancy corporate lobby groups would hire interns for. It all stems from a passion to change the New Hampshire marijuana laws. Matt Simon here is the executive director of NH Common Sense. His intent is to get one of these letters to each of the 400 New Hampshire state reps in time for a March 5th vote on marijuana decriminalization. The bill they're pushing for is called House Bill 1623. The bill would essentially turn possession of small amounts of marijuana from a misdemeanor into a violation, sort of like a traffic ticket.
A lot of these types of reforms, you have to be gradual rather than trying to push everything through at once, just because, you know, the people in like the libertarian bubble or whatever, it's like, God, of course marijuana should be legal. But if you say that to, you know, Joe legislator, he's probably not going to agree, and you got to kind of take baby steps so they're not so scared.
That's Brink Slattery, a former Ron Paul campaign worker who decided to stay in New Hampshire after coming up here for the campaign. Incremental or not, this decriminalization bill was voted against by the first committee that heard it. I don't want to say it was voted down, but because what committees do in New Hampshire is they make recommendations, and their recommendation was 10-5 against this bill. Now, it could be overturned in the New Hampshire State House, and that's why they're in action. The State House votes on March 5th. And there have been plenty of cases where the State House has reversed recommendations of committees. This might be another.
Sure.
Now, Matt, what do you think is going to happen on the 5th?
On the 5th, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to meet at 8:30 in the State House cafeteria beforehand. We're going to put on stickers and go upstairs and hand out flyers and handouts to the reps as they walk into Reps Hall. And at 10 a.m. the session starts, and we're going to sit there and observe. When our bill comes up, there will be a lively debate, a floor fight, and then a vote on whether or not to overturn the committee's recommendation. And we certainly hope that vote goes well.
Blair Witch Project weird.
So it's a big stack of envelopes they're going to have to send out.
Anyhow, we'll see what happens with this bill. If you can be at the State House March 5th, 8:30 a.m., that would be of great help. Head to nhliberty.org, take a look at the calendar, and that'll give you a general sense of what you need to do and when. You should also know that this edition of the Ridley Report was brought to you by SACL, CAI. They're a company that does collections a whole new way. They know that not only do you want your grants back, you want to keep your customers. SACL, CAI. They collect with respect.